Hello, this is Negru from NEGURA Bunget. You are listening to What's Metal.
So, first of all, I have to congratulate you to your live show tonight. It's first time for me seeing the band playing live, and I know you since the debut, so that's a long time already. I was really longing forward to it. I was well impressed. So the new album, is out since quite a while already. Maybe you can give us all the necessary details that the listeners need to know about the album.
Well, indeed, the album has been out since last year, and so far the response to it was quite great. The first edition with the DVD and the double digipack is sold out already, and I don't know how much I could say about the album. I guess in the end the best thing is for anybody to listen to it and see what's all about, because when the album is out, our job is pretty much ended. We put everything we had on making the album. From now on, it's the listeners who count.
I would say that with the previous album, sorry if my pronunciation is wrong now, in Crugu, Bradului or something like that. Sorry, yeah, if that's okay. Yeah, you at least had some kind of you had some kind of a concept. It was about nature and the seasons and so on, like 4 songs representing 1 year. Is there something similar about now this time? Is there some kind of lyrical concept behind it?
Yes, there is quite a big concept around the new album, but it's a bit different from the previous. The Crugu Bradului was a bit more direct and simple, while is a bit more translucid, so to say. Everything came from the word itself, which in Romanian language means man. Yes, but at the same time, is quite a universal concept dealing with the elevation of the human spirit. It comes from the Eastern traditions, from all kinds of religions, where the symbol is one of the most important elements.
So was that this kind of concept consciously planned before you started with the songwriting, or was it something that developed while you were preparing for the new album?
No, I think we had the concept pretty much done while starting the album. I mean, we had some parts, some ideas, but we usually do it like that. We first decide on what should be about, and then make the music fulfill the ideas from behind it.
That's an interesting approach. So you don't need to be in some kind of like an emotional state to write the music. So you start with an idea first, yeah. So how does emotion come into songwriting then?
I think there is quite a close connection between all the parts, between the idea, the feeling you want to transmit through that idea, and the intensity of the emotion you put into the music and into the lyrics and into everything. So all the aspects count, and there is quite an important line that we try to explore, and that's why it takes us sometimes to do the album. So it's quite hard, but that's the way it came for us naturally. So we just do it like that.
So listening to your albums and seeing you playing live, you kind of experience as a listener that the music is very complex. Yeah, so especially the percussion part is really outstretched about like basically crossing different instruments and so on. So I wonder how the songwriting really can work. Do you have all these ideas in mind and then put it together probably on a computer or something, or do you bring in so many different people that you can practice it?
Well, we do have the live experience in mind from the very beginning, so we always try to put on the album what we can play live. That's one of the most important ideas. We can always do a lot of things on the computer, but then when you have to play live, we are not into doing something like that. We just want to do on the album what we can perform live. And we always try to expand and using new instruments, but it's quite hard to find the right people to play them, especially for the live gigs, because on the studio we can do a lot of stuff on our own, but for the live it's quite hard. And I think we pretty much have general overview of what we want to do when we start to compose an album or a track. And of course the things develop as you go. If you do some kind of part and see what kind of instruments might fit there, and we try and explore and see if it's okay, we use it. If it's not okay, we drop it, and it's quite complex.
So how do you recruit the personnel for the live shows? Are these kind of friends, or are they playing in other bands?
Yes, they are pretty much friends of us. Some play also in other bands, but it's, as I said, it's quite hard for us to find the right musicians for that.
Right. So your band always, to me, was a bit more than just the music on the CD itself. Especially with the previous album, also the packaging, the whole concept, the design, and everything was becoming very, very important. I just remember this big, like, cardboard handmade thing and so on. So how does it all, like, work hand in hand? Is there a certain designer working for you? Where are these ideas coming from? Who is realizing them, and who is putting all this into the big concept?
I think for us it was, from the very beginning, we were interested in all the aspects. It's of course the most important is the music, the lyrics, but then it goes to the image, to the actual CD you get into your hand, because the first impression counts. If you get something unusual you don't expect, it already changes your approach to the music. If you open a normal CD, it's one thing, and if you open that cardboard handmade thing we did, it's quite a bit of a difference. So we were interested from the very beginning in all these aspects, and we tried to do our best to come up with some ideas of our own. We worked on the graphical side with a very good friend of us from the very beginning, and he's quite a good designer. He is also quite close with what we do, so it's easy to explain to him what we want to do. So it was quite nice. But now he moved to New Zealand, so we'll see how that will go for the future.
Hopefully very well, I hope so. Right, okay. So one more thing about the cardboard packaging. If I remember correctly, there was with every CD you had like a little piece of your local forest included, like a leaf or a little branch of it. Yeah.
Piece of a fir tree.
Yeah.
Because it was in Crugu Bradului. The Brad means fir, so we just put a little bit of fir inside.
Yeah. So as you're so close connected to nature, I was wondering how many CDs did you actually sell? So was it endangering the forest, kind of?
No, it was just a limited edition, 3,000 copies, and we only used a little bit of parts from different trees, so nothing was actually in danger.
All right, okay. So this concept of nature or being close to it, is that something like a guiding principle for Negura, for your band, or was it more like a one-off thing?
I think it for Crugu Bradului was something which came naturally for us. We were always close to the nature, enjoying going and exploring different new lands, and we are fortunately blessed with a lot of amazing places you can see around. So it's just something which came to us naturally. It's not like we try to be close to nature just for the sake of that album. And also I don't think there is a NEGURA BUNGET album yet to go deeply into that relation with the nature. Maybe it will come for the future, maybe we'll see.
Okay. So what is the metal scene in general in Romania? Are there many bands around? Are there many shows? Are the bands coming on tour, play there?
Well, I think lately the scene is growing a lot. There are a lot of more concerts going on these days, both with Romanian bands, but with foreign ones, which are now, the tours are starting to include Romania as well. Now that Romania is also part of the EU, it's a lot easier. It's not that strange anymore. So there are quite a lot of new bands, but I think it's just in the developing stage. What it will turn into, we'll have to wait a little bit more.
So the EU getting bigger is more like a positive thing for you, yeah? Or is it other positive and negative things coming hand in hand, kind of?
There are positive and negative things. There are a lot of elements which are destroyed, and the EU standards tend to not get hand in hand with the tradition, the local way of doing things. So there are bad and good elements, of course.
So what does the future hold for the band? What's coming up next? So you played an extensive tour now. What's the next step?
Well, I think the next step will be to rest a little bit after the tour, and then we'll have some festivals to play in the summer. And
For example?
there is Hell's Pleasure in Germany. There is one more in Germany. I do not know the name. And I think there might be one or two more, but I really don't know the details. Yeah. But you can check them on our website. And we already started to think about a new album. And if all goes well, by the end of the year, we should pretty much have a large part of it ready. Okay. But that is our hope.
Yeah. Right. So the show is called What's Metal? What do you think is metal? Is it just music? Does it stop there, or is there more to it? Is there probably a lifestyle connected to it, or something like that?
I think for us, what we do is always a lot more than just the music. Music is just a way of expressing what's behind you and expressing yourself. If you have something to express, then music is just a way to do it. But it's not the thing of itself.
So how did you personally get into metal music?
Well, I think it was quite a long time ago. I just tend to listen to that kind of music. It, again, was not an intentional decision. It just turned that way.